Well, I'm going to put something out here that's just plain common sense. Again, there's going to be a definite serious attack on the U.S. economy in general, just because Trump's going to be president. You know, he's bucking the system a lot, and not the system, but he's bucking the elite right now. It's not something that is far-fetched, or it's not something that's doom and gloom, because we got historical precedent for this. As a matter of fact, back in the 1800s when Andrew Jackson was going against Nicholas Biddle of the U.S. Bank, the central bank. The bankers used every trick in the book to create an economic depression to make the people buckle under, and they used every excuse, and that was going to be the excuse and the reason why you had to go with a central bank. But Andrew Jackson won. That was his best thing he ever did, and that was fantastic, obviously. But during that time, the conspiratorial forces, I don't know if you want to call it that, the entrenched people that are behind the scenes, the money people, the ones that are in the banking industry, that really they're there to lend money to the government, and that's how they make money. Because the biggest person that's it's not a person who's going to be your biggest customer for the big banks. It's going to be the government, and tax the people, and you collect interest. There's no way the debt's going to be paid back. Now, what that means is you're slowly going to have to go to basic bones, spare survival, like old girl here is from Russia. Now, like I did open that American-Russian survival channel. I don't know if we're going to put some stuff on there to separate the various topics I've been going off on tangents in the Synergy 7 channel, because this channel's got so many subjects on it. It's gotten so confusing. I opened up another channel, American-Russian survival, for like a lot of how-to stuff and some of this redneck MacGyver junk I usually put on Synergy 7. Now, I'll tell you one thing that, I know old girl here is some kind of tattoo model, or maybe that's a stockings no, that's tattoos. But the Euro two-wheel drive motorcycle, the Russian heavy-duty jobber that was a copy of the German World War II motorcycle, basically with modern improvements, that might not be a bad investment, man. I'm telling you, that sucker goes everywhere better than a Jeep half the time. So that's what old girl's got here, I think. But it's going to take a lot more than the moon goddess and Donald Trump to get us out of this quagmire we've been in for 8 million years. Now, really, if you really want to go down the trail as to what's been driving the U.S. economy since even the 1950s, I mean, yeah, you could be talking about Bretton Woods and agreement and U.S. dollars now, the world reserve currency. But you know what else has been really driving the U.S. economy even since the 1950s? Credit. Credit. You know where we can actually have a major problem? If credit, like in other words, everybody's tapped out because credit is based upon assets, right? It's based upon assets. And if you don't have if you basically don't have any more underlying assets to base the credit on, you're tapped out. The U.S. government's tapped out, industries are tapped out, and the consumer is tapped out. In other words, credit that's being added is minimal compared to but it's at historical heights. In other words, the aggregate amount of credit that's been out there, that's been accumulated with consumer debt, public debt of governments, including our state government, most of them in city governments, and of course the U.S. government, which is now very close to $20 trillion in debt, or plus, the unfunded liabilities. I know all about that. But what I'm saying is, that's what's been expanding the economy. Actually, that's really what's been expanding the economy since the 1950s. Really, that's really what it is. And, I just hope America can keep going like old Blondie here on a motorcycle, because, Trump has made a great speech during his inauguration. I really like the guy now more than ever because he has the balls to say a lot of stuff that nobody ever said. And now that he's been elected, he could have toned that speech down a lot. So that wasn't just campaign rhetoric, But I'm a little hesitant. I'm kind of leery if he's going to be God, he knows he's in danger. Now, one of the things actually I think can make America great again is hemp. You know, hmm, um, but, at least we can grow the damn thing. Actually, I met this dude, guy, he was at the gym, right? And he just told me the other day that, I'm just throwing this on a side note because this is criminal as all hell. This bugs me besides all the other crap that goes on. The medical stuff bugs me the most. He says he's got stage 4 brain cancer. Just found out about it right before Christmas because he had this seizure and he fell down. They did a scan. He said, "Oh, you got stage 4 brain cancer." You know what he got? Rick Simpson's hemp oil, ultra refined. Rick Simpson. This stuff right here. And you know what? Every single person that got that junk, they're still alive. Like the people that were the customers down south that got the stuff. I don't know if you're allowed to get it, but he got it. And I hope all the best to him because actually, what I'm bringing that up for is not everything is reflected in the numbers. In other words, say for instance, medical marijuana oil, the quality stuff, Rick Simpson, say that stuff, was available to everybody in the public. And everybody can grow it, and everybody can also refine it. Well, the medical establishment might just drop 25% of their business right off the freaking side of the cliff. And you could be saying, oh, the economy's so bad, but everybody's healthier. You see what I mean? So when you hear these damn numbers, don't always freaking worry about the numbers too much. Because it's not only, one of the biggest adages out there is it's not what you spend, it's not what you earn necessarily, it's what you spend compared to what you earn. And those guys, and this is another thing, this is another reflection on the economy in general. If pharmaceutical goes right the hell down the freaking tubes, and you know how much I forget what it is now off the top of my head. I forgot. I used to know what the numbers were. It's the first time, yeah, that's right. First time in 2014, pharmaceutical medicines, the revenue has topped in 2014 $1 trillion globally. And it went to $1.3 trillion in 2015. I don't know what the figures are in 2016, but it's probably higher. But see, this is what I'm going to tell you about, because these doom and gloomers that talk about silver a lot, they're going to say, oh, the economy, the GDP went down, it shows everything's... That doesn't necessarily mean everything's going down. Say, for instance, if everybody was allowed to grow medical marijuana oil, like high-grade Rick Simpson's oil, and everybody started using baking soda, everybody used these electronic frequencies, and whatever else, organic apple cider vinegar and lemon juice and all this other stuff, right? That I talk about on the channel in other videos. Now, if all these pharmaceuticals, say 95% of them went out of business, they'd be saying, hey, that's like way over $1.3 trillion globally. Say 90% of them went out of business. They say, oh, the GDP is down, the economy's bad, and everybody's healthier. Numbers do not reflect everything. Just remember that. And that is one reason I do not like putting out a lot of these charts. I do know what's going to happen. I know silver's going to... Actually, today, if you look at today what happened in the markets, Palladium was taken off again like a rocket. That happened, I think, last month. And Palladium actually... remember silver, like it hit almost $50 and at the end of like April 28th, 2011, and then from there it was kind of downhill. Palladium did hit 850 of the same year, 850, and then I think it was about a year ago or so it hit 900. Palladium, I think, is going to do better than silver and gold, but Palladium is not going to be recognized as money amongst the common folk economy. I hope to get, and I'm probably not going to hit the exact height, but I'm probably going to trade that Palladium out for real estate and, some kind of structures. But let me just state that I think it's been planned long term that the United States is going to go down, and the elite have it that way planned. And Trump, maybe they didn't want Trump to be in office, most of the elite, right? I know some people do, that all the elite don't think the same. But now that he's in office, I think they're going to bring the economy down as much as possible and just let the whole thing go to crap. But just remember again, the numbers do not reflect the economy exactly. The example being, if you did all the best alternative, quote unquote, proper alternative regimens, You'd be healthier than if you took all these pharmaceuticals and you could put the pharmaceuticals right out of business. That's just an example, okay? With a lot of things. I mean, there's wood burning stoves in fireplaces, wood burning for houses that are over 90% efficient. Hey, you could be saying, oh, the gas companies aren't selling as much to that houses or the home heating's going down or the sales or whatever. Fine. Now, what I think's going on is there's always going to be behind the scenes. Like I'm showing here is underground tunneling networks system through like Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Kansas, and California especially. Oh man, and Nevada. California's got loads of it, man, and also New Mexico, big time. Um, they've been planning. They don't tell the public about this stuff. They've been planning for the freaking Armageddon for forever. And maybe that's what's going to happen because I'm a little suspicious of why palladium prices have been going up. And you know why I look at that? Palladium to me is the number one indicator for their prices are what can really drive up palladium. It's not just industrial demand, but tensions between the United States and Russia. And I'm thinking to myself, what tensions? We got Trump in office. We got Tillerman, the guy's Secretary of State. He's great buddies with Putin and even the number two guy. Maybe they got something up their sleeve where there's going to be tensions between the United States and Russia because Trump doesn't control everything, you know? Now, Trump, I don't know what he's going to be able to do about all this stuff because he's one guy. But he's pretty damn slick, but, we got to think for ourselves and not just rely on, oh, we got this guy in office. And if you don't like Trump, fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was suspicious of him in the beginning, but crap, I couldn't take the Hildebeest for a million years. Now, if this girl here with the rose lady with the leopard thing, if she was running for office, I probably would have voted for her. It's not that I voted against Hillary because she's a woman, okay? But Trump is going to be making America. He might be able to do it. He might be able to do it. You got the classic '59 Chevy convertible out there in front of the White House with the hot intern, which his wife is going to get real mad at. But whatever. I had to throw that in here. But the deal is that we also got to look at, I think, since Russia and Saudi Arabia, the OPEC nation, the biggest OPEC nation, Saudi Arabia. Russia, is not part of Saudi Arabia, but Russia is on par with Saudi Arabia's production. But they're about equal. Sometimes Russia edges ahead. But they both agreed to curtail oil production, which means oil has got to go up. Now, I think by the end of the quarter, it's going to be over $60 a barrel on a WTI. Bold prediction. I don't know. But we got old girl here. She's smart. She's on her Indian motorcycle because Indian motorcycle, if you got the right tuning on it, even if it's a flathead, you're going to get about 50 miles to the gallon. It ain't too bad. And it's very easy to siphon a little bit out of those high dollar freaking SUVs that are parked all along the street as long as you got a siphon hose. Anyway, this chick probably does know how to siphon, I guarantee you. But I'm also a guy that I remember back in, what was it, 73, when we had the gas pumps closed and all this kind of stuff. I'm suspicious. And I think it's going to happen outside of what Trump's will is, that they're going to create, because they got to go balls to the wall. They're going to create some kind of conflict in the Middle East really bad, where it's going to take a part of the supply of the oil off the market. And then you don't need, like, in other words, remember when they had the thing with Gaddafi? I know this isn't going to be Trump's policies, but I know this one guy doesn't control everything. There's a lot of evil bastards. You remember Obama didn't control everything. He was a puppet for some other people, not just Soros, but a lot of other people. I think that when they took, Libya's oil was about 1% of the market. That's when the oil went up. Back in 2011, it was going up along with silver and gold. That's where I think everything's going to go all at once. Like, it's not going to be one commodity that's going to go. I mean, they don't run in unison perfectly, but it's an established axiom fact that when oil goes in a very, very hard bull run, that's when silver and gold take off and the correlation between oil and silver gets tight. Otherwise, there's basically no correlation between oil and silver. But when oil goes into the stratosphere and why is it going to the stratosphere? Well, one, we got a little prelude to what's going to happen. The little thing is it's not going to put it in the stratosphere. It's going to bring it up some, but it's going to help silver and gold. Is Iran and Russia agreed to curtail oil production. Iran. I meant to say Saudi. Saudi and Russia um, agreed to curtail oil production. Now, Saudi is OPEC. Russia is outside OPEC. If OPEC was part of Russia and they all agreed, basically that's what's going on. It's almost like even though Russia's not part of OPEC, in effect, it's kind of part of OPEC because they're making agreements with Saudi. And the whole reason for OPEC was to keep the price of oil high. It wasn't to keep it low. So in other words, it looks like Saudi's jumping off the bandwagon with the Western guys because the original reason, I know what their thing was, they brought down the price of oil with high production, not to just break the shale oil industry in the United States. It was at the behest of the West to break Putin because Putin wants to, Putin's not Mr. freaking Santa Claus nice guy, but you know what he wants to do? He wants to bring back Russia in the same kind of strength it had before with the Eastern Europe being under Russian control and all this kind of crap, right? That's what he wants to do. But just remember, on my American-Russian survival channel, I'm not kissing Putin's ass. I'm just telling you that I think the American and Russian people got a lot in common and we ought to get along. Screw the leaders. That's really what that channel's about, too, besides. But Putin's not Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm not saying there's a lot of people over here. I don't know, Trump is, but Trump's going to deal with him. Now, what's going to go on with Hillary? I just got to make a side note here. Hillary's probably joined this group here, lips that touch liquor shall not touch ours. And I'm thinking I wouldn't touch your lips in a million years, lady, anyway, so who cares? Anyway, that's going to be her deal. Next. But the United States, as far as, make America great again, this almost reminds me of, because I read a lot about the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, Edward Gibbon's, 3-volume set. I read that like 5 times. I read all kinds of books, Suetonius, the 12 Caesars, which was kind of like semi-fiction, but it was like not really fiction. It was all the rumors that the public used to say about the first 12 emperors. I remember so many times in the past that emperors would come along like Theodosius, and you would think the empire is getting strong again. And it would work for a while, but I think there's a trump card, and that's not necessarily a pun on words I'm throwing out there, that is outside everybody's power that's going to bring down the United States. It's called the mini ice age coming up, which I don't think it's going to affect real southern United States, but the Northeast, the wheat belt, Canadian farmers, Ukrainian farmers, Russian farmers, German farmers, Polish farmers, they're all going to get hammered. UK farmers, and that's really what brought down the Roman Empire and actually even caused the Huns, Attila the Hun, to invade the Roman Empire, not just because they were looking for resources and food, because where they were it was getting too damn cold to sustain, for the land to sustain them. A lot of that happened, man. There could be a lot of tumultuous events coming up. Now, I think this mini ice age is something that's going to happen in a couple of weeks, because you probably notice it between now and 2020. But that's going to be one of the things that's going to be the death knell for the United States. Not this, the Federal Reserve fiat currency crap. Yeah, I know that's part of it, but like I said, remember I'm telling you, the numbers do not really reflect actually what's going on in the economy. Like, I could be a guy, say I was a guy that was making, say there was some high dollar freaking yo-yo out there making $500,000 a year, right? And he hires all these people to do everything. He hires somebody to mow the lawn, he hires somebody to do his roof, he hires somebody to do this, that, blah, blah, blah. He's constantly paying money out. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you could be somebody making, a tenth that and doing better than him. But that's exactly how it works with the economy. And also, when you're looking at this Greek Acropolis, one of the most kick-ass Greeks out there, which they don't have any thing out there that remains from their culture except for the actual ironclad stories, is the Spartans. And probably that's really what we need to be about, Some things will stay long term, like that, and also hot chicks with umbrellas with a Jaguar XKE. There's some things that are classic in this life, and it's the people that are caught on a treadmill for the latest gimmicks, spend, 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 consumerism for just the sake of consumerism. No matter how much money they make, they're never going to have anything that much. They're going to be beholden to charge card debts and a lot of crap that they don't need. So like when I'm telling you this, that the economy is going to get hammered, it's going to get hammered in the official sense by the numbers, but it doesn't have to be getting hammered in a real sense by what you actually feel, as long as you are industrious and you know how to work around things. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I put on this channel, like with medical. And, just like old girl here, she's learned how to change her tire. This is a 1920s risque picture of, I know, I got to throw this crap in here, man. It's not too high for YouTube, but boy, back in the 1920s, this was a really risque picture. But, the idea is that people can just get out there and do things on their own. You don't need to be sitting on your ass. There's so many people like that, they don't know how to do anything. They can't trim their own trees. They can't fix their own plumbing. They can't fix their own electric. They can't fix their own roof. They can't put up their own fencing. They can't mow their lawn. They can't fix their car. They don't know how to do any of that. But it's like within everybody's capability to do that stuff. They got to hire somebody. Got to hire somebody. Got to hire somebody. Sometimes you do have to, but a lot of stuff you can do on your own. And that's really what's going to come down to, where, even if money gets tight with people, they can still find ways to still gain more and more wealth because they're going to do more on their own. But just beware that they are going to hammer the crap out of the economy. The numbers, the major media is going to hammer the crap out of see, Trump's big line was "Make America Great." Now, my definition of "Make America Great" would be the way Geronimo said. We get out our mostly, I don't know what the kind of guns these are. They're not, they're probably lever action. Some of them, there's a couple of them here on the left. I don't know what the hell Geronimo's holding there. He's got some long rifle there, the sharpshooter rifle. But two guys on the left there, they got the, looks like the 1892 Winchester, maybe. I don't know, something, 1873 Winchesters. But, that's really how I look at how you need to make America great. It's tough, American, rugged individualism. And I can tell you, going way back, even decades, there's been a lot of social studies in these universities and colleges that almost mock that, because they want to put the team player bullshit out there and get rid of the tough American rugged individualism. And I always say, well, it's no problem being a team player, but really, you got to be a tough American individual, rugged individual, more than anything foremost, before you're a team player. Then if you're a team player on top of it, fine. But you know how the socialist, communist, colleges and universities, they always mock that. Now, I'm not mocking that. I'm all pro that way all the way. So, but what we're going to see is the bubble economy is going to go done. Like the service area. Like, I mean, there's so much crap out there in the economy. Like, you look in the Northeast, what is it, New Jersey area, I think, too. One of the most popular job title is like family counseling and counseling kids in school. And I'm like, they never even had that kind of crap way back when. I mean, back in the 1930s, definitely unheard of. And if you go in the 1800s, forget about it. It was like, you feel a little bad, well, just keep working it off, damn it. You know what I mean? You'll feel better. Just work it off. They got all these specialists out there collecting $350, $500 an hour to talk to somebody. Yeah, those kind of jobs are service-based garbage in their hot air, and when they go down, well, they'll be saying, the GDP went down. But I'm like, so what? Who cares? It was always unnecessary garbage. But Actually, I want to tell you, too. And for you guys out there and gals that think, the worst thing in the world that Trump's president, I know there's a few of you out there still right now. Just be thankful Dick Cheney's not president. Remember Dick Cheney, the hunting club? Ready, fire, aim. You don't want to go. Guy was drunk and he fired. He shot his friend. This guy's a man. You talk about global conflict. If that guy ever got to be president, hang it up. But most people don't care. Actually, like when I put this stuff out on YouTube, hey, YouTube ain't gonna. This ain't gonna be one of their freaking trending videos. No way in hell. You know, most people don't care. They're like this broad over here. Hey, freaking having a doobie while she's out there in the park. They don't give a shit. You know. She wants to know what the hell's gonna happen tonight. I mean, I'm bored. Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? Anyway, so the deal is, that's most Americans. But here's the elite, and they're screwed. And as long as we're tough American individuals, they're screwed. But just trust me on this. They're going to come out, and I already know what the alternative media is going to freaking do. First off, the major guys are going to come out, and the economy is going to go to shit, right? By the numbers, per se. But Trump is going to be looking like they're going to throw dirt at him. They're going to say, look, he said to make America great again. And look what the numbers are doing. Trump's economic policies are terrible. And with China, by him trying to, stop too many imports coming in from China or something to make more fair trade deals, China's going to also going to allow their yuan currency to appreciate against the dollar, which by default will make the dollar worth less. So we're not going to be able to buy those cheap Chinese goods like those Bud K Chinese made and Pakistani made knives that have been buying left and right on his. You see all these damn reviews on knives that have been putting on his channel. But they're going to make Trump look as bad as possible. And what I'm telling you though is the reality. They're going to do the same thing that Nicholas Biddle tried to do to Andrew Jackson when Andrew Jackson was fighting the central bank, except it's going to be many times worse. They're going to do everything in their power to create depressions, panics, whatever they can do. And I know the alternative media is not going to help because they're going to be like throwing out drama videos about, whatever, anything. That's why I put that last video out with Trump and the snarly geist, whatever the hell that is, this snarly gaggle, whatever. I forgot that damn critter. If you want to watch that video, go ahead. I was just freaking messing around because I kind of like I don't like the major media, and I kind of like the alternative media in some ways, but I know a lot of them are full of scata, and a lot of the alternative media is backed by big guys that are just panicking the crap out of people, like AJ. AJ, I think he's just somebody that. Yeah, right. Tell me another one, dude. So I don't like panicking people, okay? I'm telling you, there's a way around everything, okay? There's a way to snoop and poop and get your way around anything. There is. We always got, there's a will, there's a way. And if there isn't a way, we'll hit them direct frontal assault, whatever we can do. But the elite are just stupid, though, in a lot of ways. I mean, if you look at the top of all these politicians, first off, they're into, whatever, gay, lesbian, and, pedophile, and they're druggies. I mean, their brain's got to be freaking screwed up. You think they're smart, but they can't be that smart, Problem is everybody's dumb, maybe this chick is hot, but I mean, she's probably an idiot. I don't really know. I don't know who the hell she is. But, the deal is, rugged individualism, like old girl changing the tire with her underwear and shit. I don't know what the hell this chick is doing, but and that's what does it. Just like the Spartan 300, who saved Greece? It wasn't the Athenians, it was the Spartans. There ain't there's no edifices or buildings or statues of Spartans around anywhere, but we know what they did, and that's really what it's going to take. But I think we're coming up to a time where they're going to finagle a war, make a war in the Middle East. I thought they were going to do it under the Obama administration. But now I think they're going to definitely do it. because the elite, not all the elite, but a lot of the elite are against Trump. And how do you make the American people suffer the most? Raise the gas prices for one. I mean, yeah, the world is flush with gasoline, but you know what? If there was ever, like I already know that Iran's got nukes and Saudi's got nukes. They do, okay? Everybody that's in intelligence knows this. If Iran and Saudi go at each other, guess what? I mean, some refineries go kablooey. It don't matter. There's a whole pile of oil in the earth. The oil is going to go to $200 a barrel, and there's going to be shortages left and right. You remember what happened when they had that one pipeline, the southeast got cut off? Freaking half the southern states were short on gasoline, right? That's why I'm keeping my Suzuki SJ413 with the freaking HHO kit in the damn thing, and my Harley motorcycle and my bicycles, because I know the problem is, like old girl here with the Indian, it's going to be a problem, man. It's going to be a problem. And, I'd really like to just keep building up my stash of food. But I'm always going to keep silver because you can make colloidal silver with it. And, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of like not a doom and gloom video, really. I don't really want to make it that way. It's kind of a pep talk. But I want to address what's coming up. I'm not candy coating crap. You have to be totally naive as all hell not to realize or to think that Donald Trump is going to walk in here. I think he's legit, okay? Now I think he's legit because, he's still saying really consistent with his message. His inaugural address was the same stuff. He didn't water it down or nothing, right? You think they're going to let him go in there and just make America great? No. The policies are by the globalists that they want to make America on an even playing field with the rest of the nations, and that no nation is strong enough to rise up against a global power. They don't want America being great. You think they're going to let him make America great again? No. So, am I trying to scare you? No. I mean, that's why I put out my American-Russian survival channel, too. And I'm going to tell you some more stuff on that channel because I know a lot of crap. I just don't have the time to put the freaking stuff out there, man. It's like you would not believe the shit I know that I wish I had time to put out. Now, I could probably be making 10 videos a day if I could just make them, as fast as my brain works, But I can't. And I know I've been lengthy on this, but I want to give you a good overall mosaic of what's going on. Number one, Trump is probably legit. Number two, the elite are going to hit Trump back harder than Nicholas Biddle, who ran the U.S. bank, the central bank back in 1800s. You're going to hit You're going to hit Trump harder than Nicholas Biddle tried to hit Andrew Jackson, which includes wrecking the economy. Number two, Saudi and Russia agreed to cut oil production. Oil's got to keep going up. I think it's going to be $65 a barrel by even the end of March. It's only a couple months away. It's probably going to skyrocket. The other thing is, all the retail markets in the United States that are superfluous bullshit, when people don't have the money, which they're already tapped out on credit. They have been tapped out on credit. And I think that's a lot why, I know YouTube advertising has freaking been going down every year. Not that I'm bitching about it because I just do more work. But the reason it's going down is because the retail market sucks. It really does suck. The advertisers don't want to spend as much even on this venue right here that you're looking at, right? And so, but where the business is going to be in the United States probably is going to be stuff maybe I'm talking about on my channel, like, I don't know, this crazy broad here with the tattoos with the Russian chick with the Ural, I think it's a Ural motorcycle. I'm not sure if this is one of Ural or not. But, man, that wouldn't be a bad investment, too. That wouldn't be a bad investment. That damn thing that thing could go in every damn place. In a lot of places, a freaking two-wheel drive, a four-wheel drive car, Jeep won't go. Plus, you can push it a lot easier. Try to push a Jeep, you ain't going to do it. So anyway, I think the moon goddess has it in the cards because eventually we're going to win out, and I expect I expect during 2017. I know every year I've been expecting something. I know. Because Trump, what bugs me about Obama, I think there was people behind the scenes that with Obama, there was other elite that wanted him to do stuff, and you didn't do it. Um, Now that Trump's in office, not that he wants to create any kind of situation with the Middle East, but I think prior policies of Obama with, lifting the sanctions on Iran and all that kind of crap, man, you can already see the writing on the wall. When Trump says we're going after radical Islam, the politicized radical Islam, you already know what that means. That's war is in the cards. And if war is in the cards in the Middle East, oil's going through the freaking stratosphere. And that's going to hurt the consumers left and right. Except the old girl here on this open pipe Harley, whatever the hell this damn thing is. What is that? A Sportster? Yeah, probably. I mean, the drivetrain's on the right side. So the deal is, there's plenty of things you could do about what's going to happen, and don't panic and don't bother freaking. I really like to tell people not to even bother listening to the freaking alternative media. When I put out these kind of crap like this, I know I've been long on this. It's really more of a pep talk than anything. I'm telling you some facts in here that are probably maybe the others don't tell you because I don't really know what the hell they're telling you. But I know the others are like, oh, this biblical prediction says this and this what Soros is doing this and the evil here and the pedophiles and Pizzagate and yeah, I know that's been around forever. Okay, I know. What I'm thinking about is what do you do practically? You know, to me, if I was Donald Trump, I'd be in the plantation house over here with the '59 Chevy with the hot chick with the pink mini skirt, and the hell with all the bullshit. I wouldn't even be in D.C. But anyway, I don't know what he's gonna do. But just chill out. Don't worry about it. And we're gonna have a lot more on this channel about practical things that could save you a lot of money and keep you healthy too at the same time.